Mini MOJO TV! Yay! Let's play! It's fun time! Woohoo!
Look closely at your immediate environment, and you are bombarded by a massive, overlapping tangle of lines, curves, and angles. It is a dense, chaotic flood of visual data hitting your optic nerve every single second. To actually process this environment without becoming overwhelmed, our brains have to act like a biological filter. We actively isolate those tangled lines and group them into distinct, recognizable units. But pointing at a physical object and recognizing its silhouette only gets us halfway there. To turn an abstract, silent form into a concept we can actually record and share, we have to bridge a massive gap, mapping visual data directly to written language. We are going to deconstruct the basic geometry that makes up our physical world. We will isolate these distinct forms, examine their structure, and pin them down, letter by letter. Because making sense of our physical reality requires us to take raw visual input and lock it to an exact, standardized spelling. The entire study of spatial structures begins with the simplest possible ingredients: a single continuous curve or the sharp intersection of two straight edges meeting at a corner. Draw an unbroken line around a single point to get a perfect circle, circle. Switch to straight lines. Connect 4 equal sides at exactly 90 degrees, locking into a square, square. Remove one side, connecting the remaining 3 to produce an equilateral triangle, triangle. The physical structure itself dictates the definition. Count the straight edges intersecting in front of you, and you immediately know which linguistic tag to apply. That physical side count determines the phonetic code, the 4-sided square and the 3-sided triangle. These 3 forms, the circle, the square, and the triangle, serve as your root visual vocabulary. Almost every single piece of architecture or structural design you encounter in the modern world is ultimately built from these core units. In the physical world, those basic structures rarely stay pristine. They stretch, expand, and tilt to fulfill different mechanical and aesthetic functions. If you take the perfect, uniform radius of a circle and elongate it across a single axis, you create a continuous, stretched curve. We identify that specific form as an oval, spelled OVAL. With straight-edged shapes, we scale complexity mathematically by adding more intersections. Connect 5 straight lines together, producing a pentagon, pentagon. Or take a 4-sided shape and push it horizontally so the angles lean, creating a slanted rhombus. The spelling relies on an irregular orthography, rhombus. We can also push past single polygons into complex compound symbols. By intersecting multiple triangular points outward from a central core, we construct a star, spelled STAR. Then there are compound symbolic forms defined entirely by their curved symmetry, like the distinct double arch of a heart, HEART. We have successfully moved from a simple, single-stretched loop into a massive, dense web of multi-sided geometric framing. As the geometry of an object becomes more intricate, the exact sequence of letters required to document and communicate it grows right alongside it. When you step back and look at this entire array of shapes, the process reveals itself as a highly systematic encoding of visual data into written language. Seeing a sharp angle or smooth curve with your own eyes is a strictly internal experience. Having the exact standardized vocabulary to name that curve is what makes the observation real to someone else. Translating those visual forms into strict sequences of letters is the primary mechanism we use to coordinate our physical observations. Once you possess this specific geometric vocabulary, you have a highly accurate tool to map out dimensions, to construct buildings, and navigate your immediate environment. We started with this simple, perfect arc of a circle, and scaled up to the complex, irregular angles of a rhombus. Mastering the physical forms and their exact orthographic spellings arms you with a complete foundational toolkit. It is the specific language required to describe, measure, and accurately document the universe around you.